Hello and thank you for returning to MMA Alerts. Chimaev wants to fight Alex Pereira, so let's start with that today. After Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland's bouts at UFC 308, Chimaev's bout with Robert Whittaker on Saturday might put him in title contention. To be clear, he is not denying the possibility of a confrontation with Alex Pereira. Before we go any further, if you want to show your support for the channel, click the like button on the video. According to Chimaev, who recently spoke with Michael Bisping, he has always been open to fighting Pereira. He believes he has a strong chance of winning the fight, but he is also aware that the light heavyweight champion is riding a hot streak and could easily knock him out. I've always been willing to do it. I can see that this guy is a lot more of a good fit for my style than other people. The truth is that I am aware of the importance of striking. You know, that guy can really knock me out. Yeah, I guess so. I can tell he's a good striker since he's one of the top men when it comes to throwing heavy punches. I am, nevertheless, a top-tier wrestler. That is not him. Of course. Okay then. I think that would be a fascinating match. Absolutely, without a doubt. No way, absolutely not. Bisping also inquired about Chimaev's past remarks on sparring sessions with Strickland, as a victory on Saturday could put him in line to face the victor of the DDP-Strickland showdown. That man was our trainer. When we've been at the gym, we've been great, but when I returned to Sweden, he started acting in a way he didn't like when I threatened to tap him out. Was he subdued by you? Oh, absolutely, my friend. He eats a variety of foods, yet he's competent. He is wise in his might. Although he's a rough guy, he's an excellent fighter. Man, that's tough. I told him what everyone else sees in the gym, therefore he should consult his trainer. It's done. The amount of time Strickland spends on social media suggests he may respond here. Following this, Max Holloway will address his health problems. Many conflicts have passed during Max Holloway's career. Fans are worried about Holloway's long-term health after his many fights, including his most recent encounter with Dustin Poirier and his trilogy with Alexander Volkanovski. Before his bout with Pereira on Saturday, the former champion, who is famous for his iron chin, told media members on Wednesday that spectators will never understand how seriously he takes brain health. He was urging fighters to take care of their brains this week. Mind your own business. Seek for mental well-being. Get up to speed on brain wellness while doing morally. You folks just have one brain. Your brain is like any other organ. Once it starts to deteriorate, there's no turning it back. So be astute, consult experts, see general practitioners, learn as much as you can about brain health, and prioritize self-care, because ultimately that is all that matters. When I'm older, I don't want to be a vegetable, you do. As the old adage goes, fighters leave their heads in the gym during intense sparring sessions, even if he has taken 2,200 serious hits over his career. Luckily for Holloway, he reduced his sparring sessions a few years ago, so he shouldn't take as many knockout punches. Will his jaw be able to withstand the power of featherweight champion Pereira this coming Saturday in Abu Dhabi? That is the big question. A return by Colby Covington is becoming more problematic. After losing to Leon Edwards in the summer, is Colby Covington really going to return to the ring? Apparently not, in Chael Sonnen's opinion. Covington dismissed the prospect of facing a rising star like Ian Gary or Shavkat Rakhmonov following the defeat. It appears he will have to fight his way down the rankings for his next bout. Though, because all of his victories, with the exception of Rafael dos Anjos, have come against fighters who aren't currently on the UFC roster. Sonnen claims that Covington's out of the octagon offers are numerous due to his positive demeanor and attractive appearance. It is unclear if the American gangster will ever fight again in the UFC. He was held down by his opponents. He proceeded to a background after stepping down from that wall. This red carpet was how they were doing it. He was trapped in that spot for an additional half an hour. He was immobile all night long, ascending in all sorts of people, trying to get some time with him. He wished to make his introduction. I'm simply informing you, and Colby appeared content. Without showing any signs of irritation, he continued. Therefore, I am unsure as to whether he will engage in combat again. Covington is now ranked 6th in the UFC's welterweight division, 1 spot ahead of Ian after Burns' loss to Sean Brady. A bout between the two could be in the cards if Covington isn't planning to face an up-and-coming challenger in his pursuit of a championship shot. Okay, then how about we examine Robert Whittaker shares future plans following UFC 308. The fight between DDP and Sean Strickland for the championship will take place on Saturday, and if Robert Whittaker comes out on top, he will likely face DDP for the title. On Wednesday, the Reaper informed Michael Bisping that he will retire at the age of 36, regardless of the possibility that he may reclaim the middleweight belt and rule the category. About 2.5 years, I would say. Number 36 is appealing to me. At that point, I should probably take stock of my current situation and plan out my next steps. It is my intention to coach somewhat. Is a firefighter possible? I am uncertain. I think 36 is a great age to do whatever it is I really want to do. Fighters like Bendo, real name Benson Henderson, have a history of making retirement plans and then backtracking when the time comes. When it comes to him, he intended to retire at the age of 33 and enlist in the reserves. Rather than competing as a fighter, Whittaker may find himself involved with the fight game in a coaching capacity. On Wednesday, he told the media that he will fight Khamzat Chimaev on Saturday night before deciding his future. I've made preparations in advance because I anticipate him to be aggressive and forceful from the very beginning. I intend to begin the most difficult battle of my life with a burst of energy, like a sprint in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then gradually build it up to a 5-minute finish, so long as it's for 25 minutes. I'm good to go. A conflict is on my way. I am anticipating his most admirable self. The kind of guy I'm hoping for is one who makes a strong impression and sticks around. I'm happy to take it on. My preparation is complete. I won't train with the mindset that it's over if I make it through the first round. I'm getting ready to face the greatest version of myself that he can give me, a super soldier. That was done by me. With a victory on Saturday, Whittaker will give himself a fighting shot for the crown and the opportunity to end the fight game on top. What if there was a way to earn money betting on sports without taking any risks? Allow me to explain, even though it sounds unbelievable at first. Every bookmaker in the United States sets their own odds, creating a very dispersed sports betting market. As a result, there are a plethora of lucrative chances that arise whenever two books are not in sync. Get the under on one book and the over on the other, and you'll lock in a profit with no risk. This tactic is the foundation of odds jam and is known as arbitrage. Hundreds of sportsbooks are instantly scanned by odds jam. Discovering these bets allows thousands of bettors to earn tens of thousands of dollars monthly. Take a look at the verdict for yourself. Plus, it's completely free to give it a go. If you're interested in trying out Odds Jam's data-driven tools, such the positive EV finding and arbitrage, for 7 days at no cost, you can do so. With only one click, you can cancel without any obligations if you're not satisfied. All set to begin. Save 35% on your first month following your trial when you use the code MMAZONE at checkout. With OddsJam, you can make better, risk-free bets right now. United Fighting Championship news. Take a look at today's UFC news as we prepare for Saturday's UFC 308 event. Jonathan McAuliffe informed his Instagram followers that he has inked a deal with the UFC after winning Dana White's Contender Series. No information about his debut date or opponent has been released at this time, but the welterweight is now 7-1 in his professional career, riding a 2-fight winning streak. Despite accepting a fight on short notice, as Alzolino pointed out, Jake Hadley was cut off the UFC roster this week, leading many fans to believe that he had been cut. In a series of social media tweets, he clarified that he had fought out his contract and had decided not to re-sign with the UFC, therefore he had not been cut. I was unceremoniously let go after taking 2 major risks. My last 2 bouts included a businessman and my contract expired. I trained for a wrestling-based opponent, but I had to take Cam on short notice after missing the weight on Blockhead, which was clearly used against me. I know Camp didn't hold a camp, but come on. Everyone's always game for 3x5s. I've already proven that I can handle the pressure. so I accepted the fight against Blockhead on the day my baby was due. I didn't want to disappoint the UFC or seem like a coward, but if I ever decide to return to their organization, I'll be more than happy to do it again. Nurmagomedov posted an Instagram video of the machine during the Ariel Helwani show in December or January and wrote, "The UFC offered you this fight, so it's no surprise that he and Marabdavishvili are still arguing online. There is a discrepancy between his words and actions. He stated he would fight at the start of the new year and that he would not back down. Their incessant bickering may force the UFC to schedule a bout between them. Which fighter should Alex Pereira face next? It appears that Alex Pereira will remain at 205 and defend his title, despite the wishes of Conor McGregor and many MMA fans who would like to see him go up to heavyweight. Now the real question is, who will be his next opponent? Henry Cejudo thinks the UFC will be hesitant to grant Magomed Ankalaev a championship bout if he opts to use his grappling instead of fighting this weekend. Do not do that, as it will undoubtedly result in the UFC not granting him the fight against Alex Pereira. Do not, therefore, hold it steady, kill him. Simply put, that is the reality. He may simply keep him waiting, according to Alex Pereira, who has that leverage with the UFC. No, according to Kamaru Usman, your boss will eventually invite you to a meeting where they will lay out their plans for the future and tell you, sit down. No? Okay, we will remove your clothing. Because of this, boxing has been eaten by the UFC. The greatest must face off against the greatest. Sure, Prater won't say anything like I'm not fighting Uncle or the UFC will go, but that's all right. Having said that, I still think Ankalaev has a great chance of winning this battle because of his extraordinary talent and abilities. To get a title battle, Ankalaev claims that one must put on a good fight, as defeating Alexander Rakic is insufficient. He may have his work cut out for him, though, because his team says that Alexander Rakic wasn't feeling well when he fought Yuri Prochaska at UFC 300. However, he's feeling much better heading into UFC 308 and is even more excited about the stylistic matchup with Magomed Ankalaev than he was about the one with Prochaska. Tom Aspinall unveils his upcoming rival in the ring. Tom Aspinall appears to be accepting that a confrontation with either John Jones or Stipe Miocic will never take place. Nothing has been officially announced regarding the retirement of the two legends, but according to Aspinall, they will both retire following their UFC 309 bout. In such case, the UFC will likely force Aspinall to fight a top contender after promoting him to undisputed champion. He predicted in an interview with Casino Hawks that barring the retirements of Jones and Miocic, his next opponent would likely be Alexander Volkov or Cyril Gane. The logjam at the top with those two makes it seem unlikely that we will be able to compete this year. Thus, I am hoping that early next year will be the time. John and Stipe should win, but I expect them to retire. Thus, Cyril Gane and Volkov are more likely to take home the hardware. I am uncertain as to whether that occurs, but it appears to be the rational viewpoint. The December clash between Volkov and Gane is too close to call, according to Aspinall, who also gave his prediction for the fight. He could see either fighter winning. To me, it seems like it's a draw. The last time these two fought, it was a total disaster. Initially, it was dreadful. I can tell Volkov has gotten much better since we fought. While Gane has been dormant, he has altered his training regimen. It seems like once a year, Gane fights opponents that are a good fit for him. I'm not sure. The work of Volkov has been prolific. For an elite heavyweight, I believe he fought 4 or 5 times since our last fight a few years ago. Nonetheless, I anticipate a much closer bout than the last, and it wouldn't shock me if Volkov managed to pull it off. Because I think Gane is exceptionally talented and intelligent. The stakes for the Volkov-Gane bout will be much higher by the time John Jones and Stipe Miocic fight in December, and we will already know if they are retiring. Prankster Alexander Volkanovski takes aim at journalist. As usual, Alexander Volkanovski pulled a fast one on a member of the Abu Dhabi media this week by acting as though he was utterly bored by the prospect of having to give an interview. After Volkanovski pretended to leave, he made it plain that he was joking. Each and every time, yes, I am aware. 2 of them make it to their big large. The idea is repulsive to me. I am now pretending. Oh my goodness, my eyes will be filled with 3 flushes. Oh, so all of them were supposed to show up? You seemed like a bit of a J.O. to me, I knew that. I am completely unaware, I had no clue. The expression on your face, was it captured on video? Mine was already going anyway. Oh great, I was going to do it, I even told him. It was excellent. Tragic update on son's condition from Khamzat Chimaev. In a recent interview, Khamzat discussed being a dad and disclosed that his son is set to have kidney surgery. His remarks are as follows. Will you return to Russia after this fight? Yes, I will be returning to Sweden. My son has undergone 2 surgeries. I give gratitude to God every day. Only one more to come after the battle. Thus, my son will enjoy good health thereafter. Tell me your son's age, half an hour, dude, there's just one of you? Yes, only one. Does that sound right? That's all right, it's tough, so I'm not sure. Yeah, can you tell me the procedure he's having done? Some issues with his kidneys have arisen. In English, I am utterly confused. Isn't it only a minor diversion? Does the fact that he's there while you're here doing this not annoy you? Yeah, I know I'm annoying you. Performing surgical procedures is not easy. It changes when a larger relative dies when you're a little child. Your opinion matters. You consider it, you understand. Therefore, my loved ones, not the combat game, are paramount in my life. Consequently, I spend more time considering them for this one. Haley Welsh released Sean O'Malley's direct messages. Haley said on her most recent podcast, Talk that O'Malley has been direct messaging her and that he's lonely. This is Haley's statement. Hey Sean, I am related to that person. Is that your cousin too? Actually, I do say that it is. I ought to acquire a hookup. Indeed, I am able to do it. Does he not have a child? What is the message he sent you through direct message? He is so kind, man. Talking is all he's doing. What are you doing, he asks. Yeah, wasn't he just like, what the fuck? I got 5 missed calls from him. Is that all? Indeed, similar to Instagram. You effing can do that? I had no idea. Recently, he underwent hip surgery of some kind. Feeling incredibly alone. Yeah, I see. I was on Oxy's Instagram Live trying to call her LOL after surgery, Sean O'Malley replied. Important remarks. You have no idea how enraged Dana was following the brawl between Ankalaev and Blachowicz. He was hoping for a banger after the greatest fight ever between Yuri and Glover, but instead got that dull affair that ended in a tie. For a crack at the title, Armand would say anything. There are too many examples of how the UFC manipulates the fights and the officials involved. They stand to lose money if Ankalaev manages to defeat Alex Pereira, as fans have a strong preference for Alex. Ivloyev is being treated in the same way. The belt will go to Diego Lopez, the man he defeated, rather than the 2-1-0. Herb Dean was relentless in his pursuit of Merab because the UFC fantasy fight between Sean O'Malley and Umar was also set up. It's not about merit, but about financial gain for the business. Whatever the case may be, Khalil fought valiantly. He occupied the 8th position. It would be great if Merab and Sterling went on a date.